Guys, this is one for all the cheese geeks and curd freaks out there. We had such a great response to our footage of Carlo Guffanti breaking down a whole wheel of Trenton Grana that we have decided to post for you the complete, extended, unedited version. Due to popular demand, I give you Signor Guffanti.
The first thing is to clear why these are living cheeses. And so, what means a living cheese? Do you see with the warmer in the room, the cheese make the same thing that we make when it's
so a little bit of sweat or oil comes from the cheese.
And are very important. Yes, is an information about the kind of the cheese. This is Trentin Grana. Do you see? It's written Trentino, and then here you have again the indication of the place where cheese is made, Trento, and this is the number who shows the producer.
The farm.
Each producer has a number.
Okay.
And then this is the indication that it is a DOP, an Italian denominazione origine protetta, and also you see here you have the indication of the date of the fabrication.
Wow,
September 2009.
Great.
So, and this is the number, the European number of agreement. Ensure cutting the cheese, breaking the cheese, we need to preserve this information.
Yes.
This information is easier to preserve than this.
Yes, yes. Okay.
And another thing to show, this is made with fire.
Yes.
And this is made after 1 year when when they make the expertise on the cheese.
So an inspector will come, check the cheese, and then they pass.
Yes.
Yes.
Why? All the other information are given when the cheese is born.
Okay.
But this kind of cheese is not cutted.
Yes, okay.
Cutting a cheese means to cut so. In this case, we will broken the cheese. In the cheese texture, you have the way to cut. And we have to discover this way.
Yes.
So, at first we make an half wheel, and this is the first indication to the cheese where he will cut, will broken.
So there's like a little hook there to cut through the rind.
We say to the cheese where we wish that it will broken.
Okay.
So now the cheese knows where we will begin to broken the texture, and we will broken the texture here.
Is it hard to push the knife in?
This is, it is not too hard. You have seen the experience of the producer, of the man. They have built a wheel that you can manage not with too much force.
Yes.
Come si dice forza? Yes. You have seen also a little girl can turn the cheese.
Okay.
And now we make
The same?
like the torero, the toreador.
Ah, yes.
What makes the toreador? He have to broken here the fight, il toro, come si
Yes.
dice?
Yes,
The
broken
bull,
the neck.
yes. And when we have cut this part of the wheel, we have already explained to the cheese where he must broken.
Okay.
So,
You're in charge.
and you will see that the
Yeah,
cheese
so-
will open alone. We make the same thing on the other side.
Can I try?
Oh yes,
Is that
sure.
okay?
You have only to
push?
yes, a little more. A little more. Thank you. Now we say the time to smoke a cigarette. You have seen
yes,
what
okay.
happened. The cheese now is broken alone. This is only 2 years old. If this wheel would be più vecchia, older, this broken goes.
It takes more time.
No, meno tempo, più veloce.
Oh, it's quicker.
Quicker, yes.
Because it's more dry, or
Because it's dry.
okay.
Now, we go only a little more in the heart. And no, more in the heart.
Oh, wow.
Voila.
It's broken.
This is the only way to cut such a cheese.
Wow.
You have seen? And now,
Oh, the smell.
yes, now it is possible two things. Sure, see the texture, and then have the smell.
Yeah.
And if you are able to cut in this way, the cheese has a value more.
Okay.
If I will cut so, you can understand how he is produced, which is the texture of the cheese. I can show you something. We will try here to see what happens when you cut and not when you will broken the cheese. This way to see and to let explain the cheese, and this way.
Yeah.
And now we will cut more più piccolo, more smallest. The way is always the same. Always in this point.
Okay. Ah, I see. Yes. Okay. To come through.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Here is the place where in the wheel the cheese makes his higher resistenza.
Yes.
Now you can help the cheese. Why? Here he is fragile. So, and if you wish taste,
Oh, the smell. It's just so rich.
the milk is sweet.
Yeah.
In milk, 80% is water, the 20% fat, protein, sugar. And this is the reason why you need some salt working, producing the cheese.
That's just so rich. Yum, thank you.
And now we will cut so. This is the typical art to cut the cheese.
It is an art, yes.
There is no another way. This is not only typical, it is the classic way.
Yes, okay.
Making so, the cheese understand alone where he must broken. Do you see?
Yes.
And now a smaller the first thing you have to make is cutting the surface.
Yes.
This is very important. Then you have to see, to understand what cheese says you. Do you see? If I let go alone the cheese, he will cut so.
Yes, okay. So you guide.
I will.
Oh, okay.
Voila. And now what you wish. The best way is make so.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you cut this off.
Yeah.
Okay. It's for minestrone now? Or?
You can employ this to make una zuppa. Or on the fire.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
And then I will show you something.
Oh, wow.
Do you see? Yeah. The cheese alone go so. I will say him, please keep on the right.
Beautiful.
Voila. And then he cuts alone, he breaks alone, but I must handle this broking, manage this broking.
Yeah.
Do you see? Voila.
Wow. Bravo.
Et voila.
Beautiful. Perfect. Wow.
Perfect.
What an art.
My wife says she is glad that I am fall in love for cheese and not for another woman.
Your heart belongs to cheese.